Hello everyone. Hello there. So just waiting for a few people to join and then I'll begin. Today I'm going to talk about my first ebook, Visions from Beyond. As you know, I launched it yesterday. So yesterday was also my anniversary of being in Canada, of landing in Canada. So I landed in Canada on 2019 September 27. So that was the day. And today, is it 27th or 28th? It's 27th. It's today, not yesterday. So it's today. And it's like I've been very fortunate to have a very good life here. And basically we manifested everything. And not to say that we didn't work for it. Obviously manifestation requires work, and we were able to do it, and it's very, very you can say satisfying. Right, I'll talk about it today in this video as well. So I'll just take a sip of my tea. We have Smokey also as well here. He just took a bath and has been just sitting down here relaxing. So first of all, let me know what you think manifestation is. Now you must be thinking, why am I talking about manifestation on this live? It is completely unrelated, right? But I will explain to you how it all ties back to manifestation. And this is the reason why this book is important, why this book had to be written and put out. So let me know what your thoughts are about what manifestation is in the comments, and then I'll continue. So just type a few words, just type something that anything that comes to your mind. The first thing that comes to your mind is usually the right thing. So if you're not able to tell, it's okay, I will explain. So manifestation is something that you try to bring something into your reality that you want. So okay, Aryan says it's an event that shows you something. Yeah, it does show you something. So when you try to manifest something, whether it is the thing that you want or not, it does show you something, right? It does bring out certain shadows. It brings out certain negative aspects of you that you thought that you didn't have. So manifestation does bring out things from your shadow self. That is true. So manifestation is when you try to build a life that you desire. Okay, now there are two things. You might try to build a life that your unhealthy ego desires, and you might try to build a life that your healthy ego desires. Right, now what is the unhealthy and healthy ego? If you don't know that, I have explained that in one of my posts. You can go to my feed, and there are two parts, part 1 and part 2. You can read that. So unhealthy ego is basically something that is just our human ego, and it does not is not able to see beyond that, right? Is not able to tap into their intuition. It's just that ego which wants to people please, wants to fulfill the desires of other people, right? So let's say that society wants you to be one thing, and you want to be something else, right? You want to be a writer, let's say, but the society wants you to be a doctor, right? So you become a doctor because you are trying to fulfill what your unhealthy ego wants. It wants to get the approval of the society, the family, and everything else. Unless you really love being a doctor, that's another thing. But you just become a doctor because everybody else wants you to. Okay, so that is your unhealthy ego. And you become a doctor and you don't feel happy. If you become a doctor and you feel happy, that's another thing. But if you don't feel happy because you had to be something else, then that is your manifestation of an unhealthy ego, right? And if you go on to become a writer and don't take up anything else in your life, you direct all your energy into becoming a writer, and then if you become a successful one, then obviously you feel that yes, you feel more fulfilled, and you feel that yes, you have fulfilled something that your healthy ego wanted, and thus you feel happy about your manifestation. So the second thing is, what is destiny? What is destiny? Let me know in the comments, what is destiny? A lot of people on the internet talk about destiny, and there is a big confusion in spiritual community regarding destiny versus manifestation. However, those are one and the same thing. I will let you know how. But people say, if there is destiny, if everything is pre-written, then how can we manifest? Destiny is the God's plan for you, Aryan says. Yes, destiny is the God's plan for you, but who is this God? This God is you yourself. Okay, so before we are born, we sit down on a round table. I've talked about this before as well. We sit down on a round table with our guides and everyone who is involved, and we make decisions for our life. We make a plan, okay, that this is all what I'm gonna learn, and this is all what I'm gonna do on this earth. Since we are coming on this earth, not everything is so-called, and not everything is about the higher planes. It is about doing something on this earth, doing something to the animals, to plants, to humans, etc. Okay, so we make this plan for ourselves. We make a list of lessons that we want to learn in this life, and that is our destiny. But it is not something that is fixed. So it's not like destiny will happen. So even in realizing your destiny, you have a choice. Okay, you have a choice if you want to fulfill your destiny or not. Right? Now, let's combine destiny and manifestation together. Most of the time, if you are tapped into your intuition, if you are tapped into your inner guidance, if you are tapped into really what your soul wants to do on this earth, you will try to manifest only those things that are your destiny. Right? Let that sink in. If you are tapped into your intuition, you will only try to manifest those things that are already in your destiny. So let's say, take my example. In my destiny, now how do I know that? I know that from astrology, I know that from human design, and I know that from all the inner exploration that I have been doing. In my destiny, it is my plan to be successful in the sense to serve a lot of people, thousands of people, spiritually, teach them about spiritual growth, and be wealthy doing that. Now, the wealth aspect is also tied into it. So, but the main thing is that I want to teach people. That is what my soul desire is. And if I want to do that, then the universe has to support me, because that is my destiny, right? So when I do that, the universe will support me. It has no other option but to support me, because that is what my plan is. And then how does support occur in today's world? It occurs by the way of money, right? So that means my needs will be taken care of, right? So ever since I tapped into my intuition, ever since I got into alignment, that is what getting into alignment means. It means to get in alignment with your destiny, right? So ever since I got into alignment with my destiny, I've always tried to manifest. First of all, I always tried to manifest a successful business. I didn't know what kind of business it would be, okay? Then further on my journey, I realized that it has to be a spiritual teaching business, right? So that is how you stay in alignment, and when you walk on the path of alignment, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer as you go, right? So again, you have a choice in manifesting your destiny, and when you choose to manifest things that are in alignment with your destiny, you feel more fulfilled when they actually manifest. And most of the times they are pretty easier to manifest. It does involve a learning curve. It does involve you to grow into a certain person. That is what this whole journey is about, right? Growing. So it can be difficult for some people. That is because we are not able to leave our shadows behind, are not able to face our, we're not able to face our difficult emotions, right? Because we are not taught that in the society. So it can be difficult, but once you do that, everything just falls into place. Everything just keeps attracting to you, right? So the universe communicates with you basically when you are on your destiny. You will see signs, you will see messages, and that only happens when you are in alignment with your destiny, when you're choosing to manifest your destiny, right? Does it make sense now? Does it make more sense now? Does manifestation make more sense now? Now, what if you try to manifest something that is not in your destiny? Is it possible? Yes. You still can manifest things that are not in your destiny, that are opposite to what your soul wants, and things that are not aligned to your soul's purpose. You can manifest them, but once you get those things in your life, you quickly realize that this is not for you. Right? You quickly realize that this thing is not making you happy, so you either leave it and go to something else, or the second choice is you have a choice to continue doing that and to keep suffering basically. So I've seen a lot of people in my life who actually manifested what they didn't want, including me, and lived that reality, of not liking what they're doing, not being aligned for, a very long time. So I was spiritually inclined ever since I was born, but I never paid attention to it. And I became a dentist, which I really liked it. I became becoming a dentist and doing that work and seeing the patients, basically because of the element of serving that was there in my plan of destiny, because there was an element of serving people. So I was serving people through dentistry, and when I looked at their faces, when I saw how this changed their life, and the satisfaction that those people receive on interacting with a good person who is also their doctor, it was amazing. It was satisfying. But my actual destiny is serving people through spiritual means, not through dentistry. Maybe I can continue to do dentistry on the side, but the main thing is about the spiritual aspect. So if I'm not doing the spiritual aspect, then I will feel that like something is missing in my life. And that was the case when I was working as a dentist in India. All through my journey, through my graduation, my post-graduation, I kept feeling like, yes, I am doing the work that I like, but I don't feel like waking up in the morning and going to the clinic, even though I know that I'm gonna have a good time doing that and I'm gonna serve people and people are gonna like it. But even then, it was not like, I'm excited to wake up and go. And it was like some days I would feel like, it would be nicer if I got to do something else, So if those kinds of thoughts come to your mind, even though you're doing something you like, then that means somewhere it is not aligned, not completely aligned to your destiny. It might be like that a certain aspect is still being tied, certain aspect of your destiny is still being tied into your present vocation, but it is not being fully realized. Okay? So Aryan says passion is the number one priority. Yes, So your passions speak a lot about your soul's purpose, about your destiny. Why are you being passionate about something? Right? Why is everybody passionate about different things? Right? That is because that is your soul's deepest desire. That is your soul's deepest desire to do that thing every single day. So it might become your career, or it might just stay your hobby. That is completely your choice once again. And it's okay if it's not your career, if it's completely fine. But the thing is, if you are feeling fulfilled doing that thing as a hobby every single day, or are you being fulfilled only if it's your career? So that is also something that ties in here, right? So for me it was like quite okay. It was like 50-50, I am okay doing this, but still there is something missing in my life. So it's only when the spiritual side hit me, when I had my spiritual awakening in 2017, only at that time I realized that, oh my god, that this is what I'm supposed to do. It finally just fit back into alignment, just like a piece of a puzzle. It just fit completely. I felt it. It's all about the feeling that you have while you do something. So I actually felt the moment when it actually fit my life, right? And it wasn't my plan to leave dentistry because I liked it, but it was my soul's plan to have me leave it because it wanted me to focus completely on this side. So if I clung on to my unhealthy ego, that I spent so many years doing this, and so I should be still doing it. If I clung on to my unhealthy ego, I would have been stuck in a situation that was not very healthy for me, and I would not have been able to grow spiritually as well. So a big part of coming to Canada is also about getting that space to grow spiritually that was required for me to become this spiritual teacher. Right? So look at how everything manifests, right? Everything manifests according to your destiny. And even if you feel that you failed somewhere in life, it is not actually a failure. It is the universe directing you. So the universe will always send messages to you. It will always direct you through feeling, through your intuition, through health issues, through roadblocks, obstructions, and through other people reacting to something you do. So the universe will always send you messages about what your true path is. And it's upon you to recognize those messages and to take action on those messages and to get back in alignment with your destiny and try to manifest the things that are aligned with your destiny and that make you feel fulfilled after you manifest, and you keep them in your life. Right? And by the way, it can change. Destiny is fixed, but the way you manifest destiny can change. So let's say that your destiny is to serve people spiritually, just like me. So you can serve people spiritually in many different ways, right? You can become a spiritual teacher, you can become a yoga teacher, you can become a Reiki teacher, you can become meditation teacher, you can give lectures, you can perhaps make spiritual themed art. So there are so many things that you can do, right? So it's your choice how you manifest your destiny, basically, right? So nothing of that sort is fixed in our life. What is fixed is our soul's desires in every single life. So in every single life, your soul's desire will be different because all your lives are about different things, right? And the more you come in alignment, the more you will be forced to grow as a person and to grow as a spiritual being. And that will involve some really tough work, some really hard work, and that will require you to leave certain things. It will require you to take radical steps that also require bravery, by the way. I talk about that in my book. So how does my book tie into all of this, right? So first of all, the title, Visions from Beyond, is the blog that I started on medium.com in 2017 when I was having my spiritual awakening. It is still there, by the way. I logged into it by accident. I thought it's being removed, but I logged into it by accident a few days ago, and it is it is still sitting there. And I was astonished to read my own blog posts from that time, because they are so spiritually charged. There are so many messages in that blog also. So let me know if you want the link. I'll send it to you in DMs. So that blog, only there are like 6-7 posts over there. So that blog was titled Visions from Beyond, and that was the blog that I started after I had my spiritual awakening, and I posted all the spiritual messages that I was receiving at that time, and in the form of monologue kind of thing, and in the form of poetry. So my book is titled Visions from Beyond because, as someone who can tap into her intuition very easily, so I can do that very easily, I've been having like visions from beyond. That was the first thing that showed up in my spiritual awakening. So those visions included my past lives, and it included several other things that were important for me to see. So when you begin working on your spiritual side or your psychic abilities, you will, one of the first ability to come up is of clairvoyance, most commonly. That is the ability to see beyond the veil, right? Beyond this dimension. So which is why the name Visions from Beyond, right? So one of the first things that you might tap into is your clairvoyance, and I have explained that whole procedure in Visions from Beyond. And you have a lot of psychic abilities. All of us have them, by the way. It's not a special ability. It's not that it's only with certain people. It's not that. Though certain people are born with those abilities because of the work that they have done in their past lives. So they were already doing the work in their past lives, and their soul is already advanced in that matter. And when they come to this life, if their destiny is to work in the spiritual world in a certain way, then they will bring those abilities with them, right? So so for me it was that where was I just completely lost the train of my thoughts. So everybody has all those abilities. The main 5 abilities are corresponding to the 5 physical senses that we have as humans. So that is why being a human is very important, and it is a very special thing. Being a human is very special because we have the senses that are much more complex. So we have these 5 senses, but all of our senses combined are very, very complex, including our psychic abilities, right? So as a human, you have the ability to ascend, and that is why it's very special being a human, right? So as a human, we have these 5 senses, and we also have 5 corresponding psychic senses. So the ability to see beyond the veil, the ability to smell beyond the veil, the ability to taste beyond the veil, ability to hear beyond the veil, ability to touch, feel the touch beyond the veil. So basically it is your clairvoyance, your clairgustance, your clairalience, your clairaudience, and your clairsentience. So there are 2 types of clairsentience is about feeling the touches, or feeling hot, cold, or tingling sensation, any kind of sensations, physical sensations through your psychic senses. And then there is claircognizance, which is the ability of all knowing. So that is the main ability that comes into your intuition, right? So your intuition is your claircognizance, and it can also combine other abilities into your intuition. So for me, it was always the claircognizance part was very, very highly activated. And then when I started working on my other psychic abilities, they also joined the party of my intuition. And so that is how the universe signals me, and that is how I receive the messages on how to align to my destiny, to my soul purpose. That is how I receive the messages, is through my intuition, right? So now I think you will be able to see how manifestation, destiny, and working on your psychic abilities, your intuition, ties back all together, right? So if you are someone who is trying to manifest the life that their soul desires, that their healthy ego desires, then you are someone who wants to read this book. You are someone who wants to work on their psychic abilities. You are someone who wants to work on their intuition. You are someone who wants to, again, read this book in order to go through that whole journey to be able to tap into these abilities. So these abilities don't just spring up all of a sudden, although they can. There are cases that have happened. And second thing is, if you are born with it, then that is something else. But in order to develop it, you need to go through this whole journey of self-realization, of spiritual awakening, of spiritual growth, of looking at your shadows, of self-healing, of learning about your nervous system, calming your nervous system, learning about your energy centers, how to heal those, how to clear those, how to open those. And then you need to learn to have that power back. As a human, we have been conditioned to give away our power. So you need to learn to have that power back inside you, and to take the driver's seat of your life, to know what actually your soul desires, get clear on that, and then spend all your energy, direct all your energy in building that life, right? So all that has been covered in my book, and I specifically give you a view of what actually this world is. This world is not what we are conditioned to perceive as a human. It is something much more than that. So I have explained all that in my book. The best way I communicate is by writing. The best way I channel is by writing. So I have explained all of that as well. You can explore the ways you channel, from all that information that I've given in my book. So channeling is very important, actually. So just previous evening, after I announced my live, I did not meditate. So I meditate in the morning. So after I announced my live, the only meditative time I was having was during cooking. So while I was cooking, I was getting all this bombardment of knowledge that I wanted to share today, which I already did. And it was like my guides telling me, say this, tell this to your audience, don't forget this point. So all of that was coming up, and I was just speaking to myself, So I do channel while I speak, but that happens only when I am very, very relaxed. Otherwise, I channel while I write, and that is how my book has become what it is. I've been writing it since around 6 to 8 months, is what I remember. And now when I go back and read the book myself, I don't know, it feels like it's not me who wrote it. It feels like somebody else wrote it, because that has come through channeling, and I feel like that's not me. Right? So go and get that book. It's $10 off for the next 3 days. You can go to the link in my bio and go to the downloadable offerings button, and you will see the book there in three versions actually. PDF version, .epub version, and .mobi version is together, so you can go buy that. And it's for $19 right now, $10 off on the full price. So I will change the price in 3 days, so you want to get that now. And I will see you on the other side after you read the book. Come back to me in DMs after you read the book and tell me how it was. Tell me what you learned. Tell me how it shifted your perspective. Tell me what kind of timelines it collapsed for you. Tell me what all doubts it cleared for you. Tell me how you changed as a person after reading it, because I'm 100% sure that you will experience a very large jump in your life after you read that book. Okay? And I'm going to put that book on Amazon as well, but don't buy it from there yet. Let it be for the world. Buy it from my link, because Amazon takes a big chunk of royalties, as you know. So if you want the link, you can let me know in the DMs. I'll send you the link if you can't find it. And I'll see you next time in another live with something more to share, right? And yeah, that's all. So wonderful seeing you here. It's always a pleasure coming on to lives and talking to you all. And I will see you next time. Okay? Have a wonderful rest of your day.